Another couple of projects that we've already completed and still in the process, I guess. Got to finish off the trim and some insulation foam is these two doors. So this was a solid wood door, this one here, which is okay, wasn't great. And put this door in a couple days ago, I think. And just have to redo the trim. I got to move these guys in a little bit, put some boarding in here and get some foaming around there. And then pulled out a sliding patio door, this guy here. Doors are in the garage, and put this double door in. And this was a great find. I got this for $250 because there was a crack up in the frame that I put some fiberglass on and to make sure it stayed together when I pulled it up here with that trailer. And this looks so nice. I can't get back far enough because we have, I don't know how many 1,000 pounds of ice and snow that has come off the roof. It's going to take a while for that to melt, but this door is going to be spectacular. And well, it's going to be a fun project. I'm going to replace this sliding patio door. We do not like it. I'm really not a fan, especially for a main door going into the house. So I've got this frame here that I transported up from Houston, and some doors in the garage and behind here. So I think I'm gonna need to get those out, obviously, to put this in. But first step is taking this old one out. First though, I'm just gonna measure, make sure I don't have to do anything crazy complicated. I believe the size of this patio door is exactly the same as that. At least that's why I measured it before. So I'm just gonna check that and see how it rolls. So the patio door is 71 wide by 80 1/4 high. And this one is 71 1/2 wide. It's a little wider. Probably gonna create an issue. By 79 1/2 high. So a little shorter. That's not so big of a deal. I can just put some bracing on the top. However, we've got some trim here. We're going to pull off on the inside and outside first. And hopefully there's a gap in behind the width here. So I've got some space to put this slightly wider door. We'll see how that goes. So here's the old door, 71 by 80 wide and high. The new one's a little wider. Not going to be a problem though because the opening's 72. And then the height on the new door is 79 1/2. We've got 80 1/2, so we've got an inch to fill. So this is going to fit in pretty nicely, I think. Got some gapping from bottom to top, but that's okay because it gives me the opportunity, what's that? A whole inch. So I can actually put like a 3/4 of an inch subplate across the bottom to support this door, and that gets set up a little bit higher. And then I really only need, what's that? 1/4 of an inch of shims at the top to square it all up, or top and bottom. But anyways, let's jump on this. Excited. Okay, we've got the screws out from around the door. There's about 6 on each side, probably about the same across the top, and about 3 on the bottom. These little blue guys here. So now I think all we need to do, this should be pretty loose. However, it's sealed in here, so I'm just going to take my utility knife, cut that out, and pry that sucker out of there. I'll try and save it so it's not all wrecked, because I'll post on Marketplace this patio door for somebody to come get if they want it. So, kind of scored around the outside with my knife. Some spots I got in pretty deep, not as much on the top. However, that's not what's keeping it in. I can feel it and hear it. It's this foam insulation here, probably stuck to the door all the way around. You can see it better on this side. So that's going to create a pretty good little bond. So I'll wrestle with that for a little bit. Some spectacular old wallpaper over top of wood paneling. Lovely. Let me work on prying this loose and we'll get this thing out of the way. This is one of those tools, like an impact driver, but I didn't know how much I needed until I had it. Having a hard time digging in and cutting into this exposure. Come on. Digging in and cutting into this. There we go. Caulking here with the knife, but this is going great. Got some space in here, some wood, but this is awesome. So let me finish digging this out with this multi-tool and I'll be back. Okay, we got her all out. Just pushed it to the inside, started levering with the pry bar over here. That worked great. Dug it through in here to get good separation. I just pushed it right to the end, and then I forgot there was a couple screws in here I'd missed. They were covered in crud. So as I was trying to pull it out, it wasn't working. Obviously the people before us had a dog. And this is all good. So I'm gonna vacuum this up, scrape out all that foam. And then, because I'm gonna put new stuff in, don't have to jack with that. Scrape off all this old caulking and then get ready to fit this guy in. This frame had broken, so I fiberglassed it back together and just braced it for the drive up from Houston. So I think that'll work. I've got a nice 52-degree day, so a great day to do this. And that's so much easier. Old door is out. Everything's cleaned off. Oh, I forgot to do the top. No, I got it. And we've got everything ready to fit in and shim into place. And then I'll go get the doors, because that's going to help square it up, obviously, with the right width. I got to take these braces off. I think I'll try and get it up into close to position without popping it in. I think I'm going to have to go in from the inside because the old one came out through the inside. So I'll put this one into the inside the house, get these braces off, trim this up first, and then get it ready to wiggle into place. Okay, I just got the center post in here, just bracing up the top because that is broken from before, which is why I got this whole door for like $250. So anyways, it's pretty darn close to being fit perfectly. It's a little lower. I think I might try and find a 3/4 inch piece of wood that fits across the entire bottom plate there. That way I don't have to shim up quite as much on the top. But if I can't, I don't want to have just pieces of shim across the bottom because I want this completely supported. And then I'm thinking these little buttons pop off, and that's where I'm going to screw it in. And I'm almost wondering if I'm missing something here. I don't know. Before I put it into place there, the type of door I think is over on here. So I'm going to take a look at that and then see if I'm missing things. I don't know how this is. These things here, they're little sliders that I think this screws up into the door, and there's a little slider here that pushes a rod up and down, and I'm not sure how it fits in here. I'll figure it out. But anyways, I'll get those doors in place. I'm going to measure, make sure it's kind of pretty close to being square. I actually try and find some wood to 3/4. I'm sure I've got tons in the workshop there. Just need a piece that's wide enough and long enough to span that, and we'll pop it into place. Can be pretty easy for the most part, I hope. Here we have the bottom plate in. I think that's gonna be good. I like that. So this is a little 3/4 inch piece of actually pine paneling that we pulled out of the a room in the back. scooches it up a little higher. So we're pretty square. So what you do is you measure from one corner up to the other. And I got 104 and 1/8. And actually from this corner here up to there is 104 and 1/8. And from this corner up to there is a little under 104. So I think if I just shift it over a little bit, that'll bring it into square. And what you're looking for is the exact same measurement on each side. So what I'm going to do now is just, I think I'm going to pop a couple screws in just to secure it so it's not going anywhere. It's pretty darn close. I'm going to have to put a piece of wood in there to shim it. And when I do that, that'll stop it from shifting around. And then I can get some doors in there and start to work on it a little bit more specifically in terms of screwing it into place. Because once the doors are on, it's going to torque it a bit. But the doors are also what it needs to fit. So I don't want it to screw it into place completely without the doors in, and then the doors don't fit. They're either too far apart or too close together. So it shouldn't happen, but I'm going to put the doors back in now, find the screws, and figure out how the centerpiece goes. I think it attaches to one of the doors, and I'm just not sure how that bottom lever locks in. I think it's going to be on the other side of that brown strip. Looking good so far. Well, that went together a lot smoother than I thought it was going to. Still need to brace up and shim the outsides here. Pop some big screws through the bottom plate and shim and screw in the top and put in some more screws. But yeah, this came together really nicely. I like how this looks and pretty happy with that. There's a weather stripping there, so that's perfect. I've got some smart locks that operate off proximity, fingerprint, a code, or a key, and or I can remotely lock or unlock them. So excited about getting all of those in. But let me get all the shimming in done first, and yeah, that's so much nicer looking than that ugly sliding patio door. Okay, about to finish shimming it in. Just checking the level here. So we are good here, and should be good here too. Yeah, I like it. Looking good. Okay, so let's get those shims in, screw it into place, and what I'm going to do is for sure put a shim wherever I'm going to be popping up a screw in there, so because the shim will support and stop the frame from getting pushed out, because this is exactly where I want it. So I measured it. It's 107 inches from this corner down to that one right here, and 107 inches from here down to this corner. So we know we're square, we know we're level, plumb at the top, plumb, level, and now just got to get it all stuck together. I like it. Have the shims all in, and up top, down the sides. And now what we're doing is working on these little pins that lock this side of the door. So it pops that little dude up in there, but it has to go into a hole up in there that does not exist. So I'm gonna have to drill that in, and I've just marked it off there. So I closed it, drew a line up through the center, and then activated the pin, traced it out on there, and then that's where I'm going to do it. And it's a 3/8 inch pin. So, and I'm going to do the same on the bottom here, so that that's tight in there. And I'm going to drill a hole in this, I guess, metal plate. Get that done. It came together really nicely, and I'm super happy with the view from the inside. I also like the way it looks from the outside. And then we purchased some exterior paint, Home Depot Bear, I think E2000 or something. And then we just painted up the door, and I actually started to paint the wall just because I wanted to see what it looked like on the outside there. And I really like that combination of it. This is actually, it's called Sweet Molasses is what we've got on the doors. And then we've also got what's called Swiss Coffee on the walls. And it's as similar to an alabaster white from Sherwin-Williams. So anyways, we're gonna paint the entire house in that color tone scheme. And we're really looking forward to having that all done. But here's the door. I love the way it looks. It's going to make a huge difference for the front of the house, especially once that pile of snow goes away. But this came together pretty nicely. I also did the other door, the central door there on the single door on the bedroom going into the house, which used to be the main door, but we're just switching things around a little bit. And we're going to be building a big deck off the front of the house there, and then directing people more into that double door into the kitchen dining area rather than our bedroom. So thanks for watching this video, and yeah, looking forward to the next project.